That's your current Buckazoid collection. That's an interesting idea. Not a good one, but interesting nonetheless.
I'm busy, son. When you give me 300 Buckazoids, then we'll talk. I'm real busy. See ya! Okay, son, you just scribble your old Bill Shatner on the register screen and I'll get your key card. It's as fine a room as you'll find on this orb.
You have a brief moment of what you think is cleverness. You decide to wittily sign the name Franzel Neekberm.
Okay, here's your key card. Don't lose it. Room 1220J. Up the elevator. Franzel Neekberm. If I had a Buckazoid for every time I'd seen that name, I'd be sitting pretty. I could afford one of those fancy fur-lined donut thingies that... What was I saying? Anyway, enjoy your stay. If you need anything, don't hesitate to tell someone.
Gee, thanks. Say, could you tell me where...
I'm a real busy guy, son. You got any questions, why don't you just go find the Chamber of Commerce and talk to them. I'm sure they'll be glad to help you out. Be seeing ya.
It's the keycard to your luxurious suite at the charming Dew Beam Inn. The room number is 1220J. Great carpet. This is definitely no place to lose a contact lens. Great. A sign in the hazy distance indicates the presence of some huge conglomerate. Can't read that one, but it does look like something you once read in a fortune cookie. They look more like cell doors than hotel room doors. It's kind of a Motel 3 meets Rikers look. It's the hotel's not-so-elegant upstairs hallway. It probably seemed like a good idea to you at one time. Just as you are about to insert the key card so you can go inside and check out your new digs, you notice those two goony-looking dudes from the lobby walking in your direction at a rather deliberate pace. Perhaps they're going to welcome you to the place or show you where the ice machine is.
Hey there, pal. Got a second? Me and my friend here was wondering something.
Fire away. What did you want to know?
Well, we was wondering if you'd have any objection to us pounding you senseless. Grab 'em and let's get moving. I gotta report in soon. You puny little scumbag. I can't believe anyone would want you. One thing's for sure, you sure ain't gonna be seeing your home son ever again. Hey, Nigel, let's get back to it, huh? We got things to do and places to go. Now, just sit there and be still and be quiet, little man. I've got some things to finish before I finish you.
Due to the planetary location of this unit, it can't keep a steady picture for very long. And as is universally known, the local cable company will get around to fixing it at their convenience. And who knows, you might get lucky and get another shopping channel or country western station in the process. This alien woman looks to be in very bad shape. Her pupils are fixed and dilated. Her body is stiff, almost as if she's dead. And her skin looks tight and puffy, as if bodily gases are building up inside her. Bandages and patches appear in profusion all over her, and some of her seams look like they're about to give way. You make a mental note to come back and rescue this poor woman. They ripped off an alien crossing sign. How sophomoric. It's the key ring that doofus hung on the wall after the other doofus left. Clever. They're using an old video cable spool as a table. Gee, don't let any college kids hear about this. They'll all want to do it. Teddy Schmuckspin, a popular children's toy, sits on the floor. If you weren't a popular child, you didn't get one. A bathtub toy sits on the floor. You find this very confusing in light of the fact that there's no olfactory evidence that your captor has ever taken a bath. A beautiful thick shag carpet of Pelvis Brailsford, the rock and roll programming sensation, adorns the east wall of this grungy apartment. How groovy! They've got a neon sign for Spore beer. Spore yourself a tall, frosty one. It's the popular pin-up alien Krill McPherson, the one that poses all over Time Pods in Space Piston magazine. Just watch that McPherson strut. This poster is from that new graphic novel series about the sewer worker who doubles as a psychic investigator. You think it's called Gabriel Norton. It looks like the lead singer for that new death metal band, the Disgruntled Postal Workers. It's Kathy Meyerland, an attractive model with gills from one of those stinky swamp-like planets like Madoria, or Slimyon, or Muxalon 4. It's Cindy Crawfish, a beautiful merwoman and spokesmodel from one of those beach-strewn, wimpy, watery planets like Aquaria, or Oceania, or Wateria. This little unit is a portable dehumidifier. When you're a guy like Singent, who sweats like a bicranial crud snorter, you need one of these things going all the time. This is the data corder you got from that endodroid hunter dude. The desk looks rubbery and flimsy. It must be one of those floppy desks. Surprisingly, it's a pile of books. Who'd have thought these guys could read? It's one of those wads of lard you ran into at the inn. It looks like a plug receptor. This optical disc-based multimedia entertainment system has a slew of powerful graphics and audio coprocessors. A unique flexible architecture, is extremely high-priced, and plays a half-dozen really bad arcade games. It's called a 3DOA. Your captors have obviously been drinking mass quantities of that new imported beer, Tecate Wormhole. This symbol is all the rage among teenagers in the quadrant. None of the adults knows what it means, but it's shorthand for no sign of life. This keypad undoubtedly controls the doorway. You don't know what that is, but you keep seeing it above people's garage doors. It must be some sort of anti-theft device. There is a massive door leading into the next room. You have no idea where this place is, but it's nice to see that grunge has finally hit the interior decorating industry. It's a short-pile polystyrene rug with the ubiquitous Have a Cyclopean Day symbol. You have no idea where this place is, but it's... You have no idea...
Hey, what the fu... I don't want to see you move another inch or I'm gonna slice you into nice little bite-sized pieces. Now, can it?
A nail protrudes from the wall. How novel. You are now a proud nail owner.
That's the keyring nail I got from the wall.
Good thinking. The nail proves to be just what you needed to free yourself from those handcuffs. Don't get all excited, Little Red Riding Hood. You aren't out of those woods yet. It looks like a plug receptor. What are you going to talk to him about? The weather? Not much going on there, eh? You carefully lay the rug on the floor. Even though you were never known for your interior decorating talents, you feel very satisfied with the location you have chosen. Your body is now carrying a nice static charge. Wow, the static energy you built up discharged, frying Lard Boy's circuitry. Did you actually think of that, or was it just luck? What can be said that isn't painfully obvious? Smooth move. You've got his keyring. It's a burlesque MIDI. You now possess the MIDI. It's a burlesque MIDI. That wouldn't prove fulfilling. This optical disc-based multimedia entertainment system has a slew of powerful graphics and audio coprocessors. A unique flexible architecture, is extremely high-priced, and plays a half-dozen really bad arcade games. It's called a 3DOA. Surprisingly, it's a This optical disc, it's called You have no idea where this plate... You have no idea where this optical disc... It's called a 3... It does nothing until you insert a 3DOA compatible disc. This optical... It's called a 3... The desk looks wrong. It must be... The room seems to be vibrating very slightly. This would probably indicate a damping field in operation somewhere close by. Either that or someone downstairs is using a pro shiatsu. The room seems to be either that or... The room seems to be either that or... You have no... This optical disc, it's called... Don't pick at it, you'll only make... There seems to be a small pile of CD-ROMs sitting here. Your search through the CDs reveals a bunch of typically boring multimedia magazines. A multimedia phone book. Too bad there aren't any phones around here. The Outpost Project Survival Guide. There seems to be a small... Successful People Managing Techniques by Carm Trebus. Funny, it's empty. MF-DOS for idiots, morons, and phoebes. Turing Xenon on 5 buckazoids a day. Discovering your inner maggot. How to become assigned to being a corporate creative genius without really trying. This might be worth checking out. It's a copy of Popular Tektronix. It's a somewhat damaged CD-ROM disc. It does nothing until you insert. This is the data coder. This is the feedback cutter offer plate, hence the clever FC label. This is the recalibrating fluctuator plate, hence the always lovely RF tag. This is the subspace emitter plate, hence the handy SE abbreviation. This is the tachyon transmitter plate, hence the awesome TT moniker. This is the particle shield plate, hence the helpful PS appellation. This is the recalibrating fluctuator plate, hence the always... Didn't that Sally Struthers Learn at Home course teach you not to stack components on top of each other? Didn't that... That plate's chip socket is currently occupado. Please remove the first chip before attempting to insert the new one. Didn't that Sally's... This is the Spentium chip. This is the tachyon transmitter plate, hence the awesome TT moniker. This is the Dentium chip. This is the particle shield plate, hence the helpful PS appellation. This is the Fermentium chip. This is the feedback cutter offer plate, hence the clever FC label. This is the datacorder power source, a tiny chip of Devallium crystal, the official power source of StarCon. It's a circuit board, and a darn good one.
There seems to be something stopping the datacorder from transmitting.
This is the datacorder's proximity display. If one light is on, the selected chemical compound shown on the LCD screen is present, but at an extremely low trace level. If two lights are on, the compound is within 100 meters. If all three lights are on and flashing, the compound is within 10 meters. If no lights are on, either the datacorder is not turned on, or there is no detectable trace of the compound. The room seems to be either that or someone down.
Well, 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 the worm is out of the hole. So, you have to ask yourself, do I feel lucky? Well, do I, punk?
It's the one called Nigel, the larger of the two mass-laden brothers. The archway glows with the energy of a damping field. No wonder it's so humid in here. A massive subspace neurotransmitter fills the desk. Amplified by brainwave patterns, neurotransmissions are not affected by local damping fields. But you already knew that, right? This box is full of daddies. Daddies are modules which, when inserted into intercranial slots, give the user complete knowledge of whatever topic is programmed into that particular daddy. A box of MIDIs, behavioral modification neurocircuit chips, lies under the desk. The carton is full of spare parts and tools to keep the subspace neurotransmitter in operation. An acetylcholine torch, a bunch of axon terminals, a cell receptor, and a new package of postsynaptic membranes. Warning to phenylketonurics, contains phenylalanine. The cityscape stretches like an immense pestilent rash across the puckered, festering face of polysorbate 60.
Ah, pretty.
This controller controls the controls on the subspace neurotransmitter.
Geez, is this guy a control freak or what?
Wow, that's a signed poster of the lead singer for that country western band, Hall & Az. It's just another picture of a heavenly body. This appears to be some sort of control room. There's a landing platform beyond the damping field induction coils in the archway. The room seems to be vibrating ever so slightly, the telltale residue of a local damping field. You rummage around in the box to look for something useful, but all you find is an almost complete set of line dancing in zero-G daddies. Only Volume 2, the Achy Breaky, appears to be missing. The room seems to be vibrating. You poke around and look for something useful, but since you're not exactly Mr. Subspace Neurotransmitter Repair Guy, none of it appeals to you. You poke and prod amongst the MIDIs until you find a MIDI labeled churlish. Being intrigued by the word, you glom it. Incidentally, you might want to look up the word churlish before you do anything stupid.
Go away.
That's the churlish MIDI I found in that box.
The corner of the label in this MIDI seems to be loose. You get fingerprints all. Nothing happens. See, most games would just give you a generic response when you try something useless like that. But we've custom-tailored this response exactly for you. Let's look at it together and see what we can see, okay? Thinking it was the churlish MIDI, he pops it in place. It has a couple of things attached to it. It's Nigel's belt, complete with a damping field actuator and a nifty personal grooming assistant. This is a personal grooming assistant. It's the damping field actuator. It's the belt that big guy was wearing. It's the damping. It probably seemed like a... The room is no longer given. This button turns.
Hey! Here's your fish!
Stellar, you picked up my homing signal. I can't believe I actually made it work. Now no one can say I spent a little bit too much free time in the bathroom with Popular Tektronix.
Popular Tektronix? Who are you trying to kid? I know what you were reading in there.
What was that voice, Roger? I thought I heard something.
Pay no attention, Stellar. It was probably just a mechanical flatulence from the ship.
Anyway, we received a transmission from a nearby StarCon communications monitoring platform. They told us of some unusual signal originating from the area of polysorbate 60. We dialed it in, scanned the coordinates, and found you.
So what are you doing in this sector, Stellar? I thought you were stationed on the SCS Heinz 57.
I am. I had some leave accumulated and decided to take it. This is kind of embarrassing for me. I actually came to see you. I've been thinking about you a lot lately, and I was curious about what you'd been up to, so I decided to visit. And when I arrived here, I found you had just left for shore leave on polysorbate. I decided to follow you down and try and catch up with you. When I got to that dump of an inn and found you'd been kidnapped by those thugs, I searched around but could find no trace of where they'd taken you. That certainly is a strange place. I decided to beam back up to the deep ship and try to locate you through your transport communicator signal. When I'd returned, I found you'd left it up here on the ship. I didn't know what to do then until that call came through from the StarCon installation. You're a lucky man, Wilco.
Yeah. I guess I am. If you hadn't gotten there when you did, I'd probably be a victim of some serious cement poisoning after those geeks chucked me off that balcony.
Terrace.
What?
Well, actually, it was a terrace.
Whatever. Thanks, Stellar. I sure owe you a big one.
I'd sure like to collect that sometime. But let's talk about you and me. Perhaps I could take you to dinner sometime soon.
I'd like that, Stellar. I'd like that a lot. The thing is that I kind of have a relationship with another, and I wouldn't feel very comfortable about that. I mean, it wouldn't be fair to her. You understand? Not to mention the fact I'd be wearing my sphincter for a necklace if Beatrice ever found out. I hope you do understand, Stellar. I like you. I think I even more than like you. I don't know where I got this inordinate sense of loyalty toward Beatrice.
I believe the word that explains that is fear.
Pound sand, pal. Please know that were the situation any different, I'd be making that date with you right now.
Oh, I see. Friends, co-workers, buddies. That's all this is gonna be. I guess I knew it somewhere inside. I just didn't want to believe it. I guess I admire your trueness of heart, however misplaced. But I feel much more inclined to damn you for it. I know that's selfish, but it's how I feel. I must admit it shows something more about you, more depth of character than I gave you credit for, Wilco. Well, I'm patient if you ever have a change of heart. Well, Roger, we should see what we can find out about those subhuman walking dumpsters that had such a keen interest in you. I don't suppose you heard their names.
No, but I did get this neat personal grooming assistant. It needs a little cleaning, but...
That's great, Roger. Don't clean it, though. Take it to the sick bay. There's a DNA analyzer there. We can scan the contents and perhaps use the results to get some names and information about these guys.
Good thinking, Stellar. I probably would have thought of it, eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have, Roger. Look, I've got to go to sick bay and get some treatment for my back after that not-so-graceful rescue.
Oh, yeah, that. Sorry. Well, I'll see you there.
Commander, I am receiving a message from StarCon.
Computer on screen. Hello, Commander Kilbasa. I have a new directive for Deep Ship 86. This is actually a special request from me, Commander. As you may know, I served with Admiral Bluntfang during the Fallopian campaign. Admiral Bluntfang's widow is involved in building an off-world retirement community. They are almost finished, but have requested assistance from Deep Ship 86. Commander, please extend her every courtesy. You know, if things go well, this would not look too bad in your personnel file. I will let Sharpay, the Admiral's widow, explain further.
Hello, Commander Kilbasa. As Admiral Toolman mentioned, we have almost completed our project here, but could use StarCon assistance. To be honest, Commander, I pulled a few strings, but this is an important mission, I assure you. Since you are scheduled to be present for the dedication of the Golden Light Year's Retirement Center anyway, I hoped you might alter your travel plans to accommodate an earlier arrival. From the information provided me by my old friend, the Admiral, you would be able to warp here within a few hours. I require some assistance from your ship, as well as one of your crew members. Allow me to explain.
Meanwhile, back in sickbay,